always been such a family-friendly neighborhood.
They have their own character, their homes with their own character.
There's just a good vibe. People always say this feels like a neighborhood.
A lot of different houses at different ages, and the history is exceptional out here.
The history of this neighborhood is in the name. Before 700 homes lined the streets here, this land belonged to the first governor of the territory of Iowa, Robert Lucas.
They had pasture land, they had enough cattle and the typical domestic farm animals to supply them with their daily needs.
Along with the 360 acres of farmstead, Governor Lucas and his family also built their home here, which was named Plum Grove. Located off Carroll Street, this landmark is truly the center of Lucas Farms. Restored in 1946, the home gives a glimpse into the past. From the furniture to the gardens, everything has been kept true to the time. In Lucas Farms, you can also find the former home of Governor Samuel Kirkwood.
We're a modest neighborhood with a rich history.
And it's that rich history that still attracts residents to this day.
I'm Judy Nyron, and I've lived in Lucas Farms for 41 years.
Judy is also a member of the Neighborhood Association and knows a lot about the area.
Our neighborhood is peppered with different kinds of architecture. We actually believe there might be a building from every decade in Iowa City's history.
After several years of idleness, she and other board members have been working hard to revitalize that sense of history.
I think the biggest part is having a sense of neighborhood identity. That's something that even when I moved here 3 years ago, we didn't really have.
From ramping up events like the Tour de Farms bike ride and their annual History Days,
Have parties, get together, start to make a community.
We have had pony rides every year, and we hope to do that every year to harken back to when this was a farm.
to upgrading their local playground.
One of the big ones is where we're sitting right here, is Highland Park. When I moved here, we had a merry-go-round, we had a slide, we had a couple swings, but nothing even approaching what's here now.
And the efforts haven't gone unnoticed.
We have a very active neighborhood steering committee, which is awesome. It's not only about history, it's also about having fun and gathering people together.
I feel like this neighborhood is such a great representation of Iowa City as a whole because it's just right in the middle of so many different neighborhoods.
And for people like Abby, one trademark of Lucas Farms comes in the form of some unusual architecture.
I remember as a kid running around and seeing all the great Moffett houses.
Local contractor Howard Moffett saw the need for housing in the 1920s as an opportunity, but he wasn't looking for home buyers.
He used recycled and repurposed materials. He wasn't building them to sell, he was building them to rent.
From salvaged lumber to old railroad ties, Moffett took an unorthodox approach to creating his distinct homes to rent to students at the university.
Sometimes they look a little bit lopsided, and we kind of joke that we're not sure he owned a level or a T-square.
Peaking roofs, tall chimneys, and underground garages are common themes in the more than 100 homes he built in the area.
When you get to know Moffett, he's like a folk artist. I say he's a folk architect.
With a background in art, Judy was immediately drawn to the unique style of Moffett when she and her husband moved here 40 years ago.
And the more that we learned about Howard Moffett, the more we loved living in a house that had a story behind it.
And it's more than just the architecture that draws people to Lucas Farms.
People just really want to connect here. It's not everybody in their own homes and nobody talks to each other. It's just so friendly. People are really reaching out to their neighbors.
My name's Lena Hoffmeyer, and I've lived here at this address for 35 years in August. Even being on this busy corner, it has a sweetness in this neighborhood.
The location also offers some perks.
Close to downtown, close to shopping for food, and I love the farmers market.
We have Iowa City Marketplace close by. We have the Big Grove Brewery now, and Riverfront Crossing Park will be very accessible.
It's also the home of Mark Twain Elementary School, which is a big plus for parents.
That school is really something to watch. It's an up-and-coming school in Iowa City, and I am really excited for my kid to get in there.
The Neighborhood Association has put in a great deal of work to get Lucas Farms back on the map.
A lot of the effort that's happened in the neighborhood at large is making us a place, making us a community, making us recognizable as our own place to be.
And that's the direction the neighborhood hopes to keep moving in, forward.
This neighborhood is rocket path right now, and I am so thrilled to have already been a part of this neighborhood, but it's going to change even more. So basically, you ain't seen nothing yet.